Thank you so much for joining us today. We are excited about our HEAT Award, and we just want to create an opportunity where we could celebrate together, celebrate each other, and come together and continue to move forward. So we put together this reception for that purpose, invited some special guests to make some remarks. And our first special guest, I'm going to invite up our president, Mr. John Hummer.
Thanks, Erica. And this is a beautiful day and a great day to celebrate. Let's just start off again. This is for all of us to celebrate and take pride in this national recognition. So give yourself a big round of applause. And I'd like to say that this is not a destination. This is just a stop on the journey that we're all on as an organization to continue to improve in our diversity initiatives, our inclusion initiatives, and also just to take time and also to reflect and have some fellowship and recognize too that all of us come from different parts of life, and at the end of the day, we are one team, one medical school, and no matter where you work or what your rank is in this medical school, whether you're a medical student, whether you work in housekeeping, whether you're a PhD, MD, DO, president, board members, as an individual, you're entitled to the same level of respect as an individual. And let's all just remember that, because organizations that don't focus on that are the ones that tend to drift. We don't do that here as an organization, and it's because of what we believe in the foundation that we have built as a medical school to respect diversity, to respect individuals, and to always strive to work together as a single team on that. So again, congratulations. I'm honored to be part of this medical school from the very beginning, and I'm very excited about the future. We have a great future ahead of us. And what I'd like to do now is to recognize some individuals that help us on a regular basis to keep our initiatives, our DEI initiatives, in the forefront, and that is our Diversity Council. We'll start with our current chair of the Diversity Council, Ms. Erica Huey. Let's give her a round of applause. And our other members, we have Dr. Stephen Ontiveros, Dr. Manu Purvis. I saw Dr. Manu here. Give her a round. I'm sure he's seeing patients at your place. John Harris, Dr. John Andazola. Give him a round of applause. Miss Karen Provencio. Karen, you here? All right. I saw him with his Burrell sweatshirt, Mr. Art Garza. And our student doctor representatives, Christine Lamb, student Dr. Adam Villegas, student Dr. Mel Racenstein, and student Dr. Rohan Shah. And some individuals that are here that were on the Diversity Council for the year in which we were recognized for the HEAT Award. Our past chair, Miley Grandjean. Miley. Dr. Vanessa De La Rosa. And student Dr. Bree Kaywood. So again, congratulations. I'm not going to do a lot of talking because we have some speakers here today that we want to hear and listen from. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Erica. Thank you.
I find it appropriate as Chief Diversity Officer and representative of this fine institution that we take a moment and pay homage to our local indigenous community. It is a humble honor to present the official Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine's Land Acknowledgement Plaque. I'll draw your attention to the back of the room here. In part it reads, wherein as The Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine acknowledges the history, presence, and continued contributions of the indigenous peoples who were the original occupants of the grounds where this medical school now sits. This land acknowledgement serves as a formal statement to recognize the indigenous peoples who continue to be stewards of this land and have made significant sacrifices throughout history for our nation. It is their resilience to survive, persist, adapt, model, and lead that we recognize, thank, and respect in this land acknowledgement. In particular, this campus here in New Mexico, the Manso, Piro, Tigua, Warm Springs, Chiricahua, Mexicali, Apache, Tarica's Pueblo, and numerous other indigenous nations have occupied the lands that now make up the city of Las Cruces. The Burrell community is encouraged to stand in solidarity with indigenous peoples throughout action by learning more about their rich cultures, languages, enduring histories, challenges faced in the past and encountered in the present. We look forward to the future as we continue to strengthen our relationship with our local indigenous community. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dean Peratt.
So thanks everybody for joining us, and I just want to echo what John and Erica have already expressed. I will just say congratulations to you all. I think our diversity drives our excellence, and keeping diversity at the forefront of what we do in our recruitment of faculty and staff and recruitment of students. I think this is the trend that we want to continue and maintain this as a priority. And so I think today is a great day to recognize what we've done to this point, but also to keep an eye to the future and know that we can continue to improve from where we stand going forward. So thanks for being here, and just appreciate the opportunity to enjoy the day with you guys. And as always, just privileged to be part of the leadership of the school. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dean Peratt. You can only imagine the level of pride, yet how humbling it was to receive notification that Burrell had been selected in the 2022 class of Insight into Diversity's magazine's Higher Education and Excellence Diversity HEED Award as your inaugural Chief Diversity Officer. This was yet another self-evident motivating factor that spoke to the hard work and dedication to the mission that our leadership, faculty, staff, and students did prior to my arrival. The HEED Award is the only national award recognizing health profession schools that demonstrates outstanding commitment to diversity and inclusion across the campus. So this is in and out of the classrooms. We are only one of 6 osteopathic colleges awarded this year. Award winners were chosen for this honor based on their cutting-edge strategies and initiatives to champion DEI via programming, events, trainings, curricula, hiring practices, and more. Some dynamic examples of DEI initiatives that I have had the opportunity to help and magnify and support since this past summer include back in September, my office partnered with the Latin American Student Association for Hispanic Heritage Month, where we highlighted our beloved BCOM friends and family from our Hispanic communities. Our staff council leadership coordinated a Salsa and Salsa event. Letty, is our winner here, Letty? I saw you. There you are. Letty has the best salsa. I'll let you determine, was that the dip or the dance? But also, our faculty council hosted a community trunk or treat. We welcomed November with the South Asian Medical Student Association inaugural Diwali campus celebration. The Diversity Council had identified a day on the calendar previously for November to have a Day of Diversity and Service. It's a campus event. But prior to that, in September, I was approached by 3 phenomenal student organization leaders, Renee Crick, Mackenzie Blackburn, and Brian Keller. They're phenomenal. Give them. To discuss joining forces, because they too were planning a similar DEI activities around the same time. The end result was the Fall Diversity Festival. We can't thank these students enough for elevating the event and ensuring its success. White Coats for Black Lives recently had another major networking event, Dinner with Doctors, with the Southwestern Association of Nigerian Physicians. Congratulations to you. Now, these are just a few examples. I could go on and on, but I'm sure you've had the chance to see the work and sense the excitement on our Facebook pages and Instagram pages. So if you have not, please check them out. The Office of Diversity and Inclusion is committed to providing the direction, framework, and acumen necessary to foster and sustain campus-wide equity that ensures an engaging and empowering learning and work environment, where we can all experience and contribute to inclusive culture, where our differences are leveraged to make a difference and exemplify the institution's guiding principles. Shared ownership. We do this by shared ownership. So we cannot do this important work without each and every one of you on board and committed to a culture of excellence here at Burrell. We'll also need a sense of urgency, balanced with patience. We must assess issues, needs, and opportunities with urgency, while understanding the patience that is required for authentic, sustainable change and continued progress. This award lets us know that what we are doing is good, and we are headed in the right direction. This award also symbolizes and reminds us that there are always greater tasks to begin. A healthy, vibrant organization culture is not built overnight. Foundations of self-awareness. We all must contend daily with our own unconscious biases. Trust, honor, respect, admiration must be poured into each other with micro appreciations. Exercising diversity, equity, and inclusion will always ensure we keep first things first, the people and the future. You may ask, why is diversity and inclusion important in schools and businesses? It's not a new concept. We began this week commemorating the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, who was arguably the architect of this modern DEI era, who sacrificed his life preaching and teaching social justice in the 1950s and 60s. In addition to social and moral responsibility, diversity has been associated with improving learning environments for all learners. Now, this is because awareness and appreciation for different perspectives is developed after exposure to differences. Increased diversity may open untapped funding, opportunities for underrepresented researchers, and broaden the research agenda. Diversity is also tied to increased business innovation, enriched decision-making, recruitment advantage, and diverse physician population is more likely to care for a diverse patient community and work in those underserved communities. All of this speaks to our motto, for the people, for the future. With that, I wholeheartedly congratulate our past and present leadership, faculty, staff, and students for receiving this well-deserved recognition, and I accept this award on everyone's behalf. Now, I'll close my remarks, and I will introduce our next speaker, Representing our student body, SGA President, Student Dr. Alberto Velasco.
Howdy, y'all. Well, good afternoon. I'm Student Dr. Alberto Velasco. I am an OMS2, and I currently serve as the SGA Executive Board President, as Ms. Hughes states. And I stand here today with an immense sense of gratitude and pride. I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak on this incredible privilege to be part of an institution to receive such a prestigious award as the HEAT Award. It is truly humbling and serves as a reminder of how far we've come in achieving true diversity and inclusion on campus. As students, we're often too familiar with the cases where the universities preach diversity but fail in practice, often selling for mere numbers and mere diverse numbers instead of creating a meaningful experience for everyone. Here at Burrell, though, we do not settle. However, Dr. Pratt, President Hummer, and the Office of Diversity have gone above and beyond this by implementing student-driven programs like JEDI, which incentivize broader forms of diversity amongst our student body. JEDI empowers us to become the kind of doctors who not only understand diversity of our patients, but actively seek to empower them and lift them up. JEDI is a transformative experience that helps students build a community united behind shared commitment to justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. And I'm so proud to be part of this community. And I hope everybody's here proud to be part of this community because it is truly great. Before I get ahead of myself, I want to take the time to highlight specifics about JEDI because JEDI is actually a new thing and explain its inception and the details and how it functions. To start, we as students were disheartened by always seeing the same people at DI-focused training sessions and activities. It was clear that these individuals were passionate about LGBTQ plus matters and had an immense sense of pride towards Diwali's significance. But how can we, as students, listen to their stories and encourage participation in unfamiliar events? Thus, the JEDI Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Program was created through collaboration by myself, our SJ VP, Kevin Weiss, and our Diversity Chair, Student Dr. Christine Lamb. So if I could just take a moment, give these dudes and gals a hand of applause because they're doing a great job. So the way JEDI works is by creating a system that allows staff and student organizations to create JEDI-sponsored events. These events provide students with DI trainings, discussions, and documentary viewings so that we can better ourselves be prepared for real-world encounters, and while also promoting diversity within Burrell. As students complete these sessions, they earn JEDI hours, which are vetted to ensure eligibility and tracked via the Track It Forward system. At the end of the year, awards are given based on a number of verified hours. These awards are eligible to be included in your CV residency applications and serves as an opportunity to showcase students' efforts and commitments to becoming culturally competent physicians. That being said, I would like to acknowledge two student leaders who constantly strive to build inclusive environment and help other student doctors feel seen throughout the chaos of medical school. Student Dr. Ryan and Student Dr. Anusia Mansakani. To them, JEDI has been critical in their outreach. As Anusia puts it, JEDI made it possible for me to host and celebrate the Festival of Lights with the entire school. In the past, JEDI was a mere mention, but this fall, over 100 students, faculty, and staff were able to celebrate the Festival of Lights and see what made Diwali shine bright. For Ryan, since JEDI, student investments in LGBTQA initiatives have increased eightfold, which has truly been inspiring. As a member of the LGBTQA plus community, I know how daunting it can be to share details about your personal life with a new clinician. Now, we not only have more students learning simple steps to resolving discomfort for this population, but we also have students learning and hearing firsthand accounts from community advocates and providers of holistic perspectives on diverse patient care, making it easier to speak to those often overlooked. Before coming here, many of us have felt unseen or unheard within our respective academic circles. We had no idea what it was like to be truly seen and heard authentically without judgment or criticism. For me, it was almost as hard to be seen or heard in the Marine Corps, where you're just another face in the crowd, unless you're getting yelled at. But at Burrell, we are given a platform through which our stories can truly matter, allowing us to use our unique perspectives to enrich ourselves and others during time when empathy is so desperately needed. But it's not just about being seen or heard. It's about understanding and valuing one another's differences. It's because of initiatives like JEDI that we will graduate from Burrell not only being academically prepared, but also emotionally, ready to take care of patients who want nothing more to feel respected by their doctors, regardless of race, faith, and gender. This is something that can only be achieved through true understanding and appreciation of one another's differences. Finally, I would like to thank and express my deep gratitude for Burrell's commitment and dedication in leading initiatives that encourage fairness, justice, equity on campus. For everyone here today, I urge you to go visit the JEDI posters out in the hallways. They're great. You'll be able to witness firsthand all the hard work it goes into creating a community founded on diversity and inclusion. On this note, I pose this question to all of you. How can we continue to strive for a more just society beyond our time at Burrell? Let us recognize the importance of equality and unite to support those with that common goal. It is only in that nature can we truly see our patients, and then we continue to strive to understand their differences. Thank you.
The actual HEAT Award.
Thank you. That was excellent, Alberto. Well done. Appreciate that. It's my honor to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Denise Gonzalez, who is Vice Chairman of our Board of Trustees. I do want to brag a little bit about Denise because I think she really is symbolic of what we all stand for. So allow me just to talk a little bit about Denise before she comes up. So currently, Denise is the Medical Director of Adult Medical Specialties for Presbyterian Medical Group, as well as a pulmonary and critical care physician working with patients with breathing disorders and those who are in need of critical care. In addition to her role on the board of the Burrell College, she is also a member of the board of the ASK Academy, a science, technology, engineering, and math innovation school in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. The ASK Academy is a 6th through 12th grade public school that focuses on encouraging students' passion for STEM learning in order to prepare them for careers in engineering design and biomedical science. Dr. Gonzalez was born right down the road and was born and raised along the U.S.-Mexican border in rural southern New Mexico. Her childhood experiences fostered her passion for improving the lives of others, particularly for those disadvantaged communities. After earning her bachelor's and master's degrees in biomedical engineering from Boston University, which, by the way, I asked her, why Boston? And she said two things. One, it was as far as I could get away, and doesn't mean because she still loves it here, because that's why she's here, but she wanted to experience the world. And two, I got a full ride scholarship. Obviously earned it. Following her master's, her undergraduate master's, she came back home to the University of New Mexico for medical school, and then fulfilled her residency training in internal medicine at the University of Texas Health Science Center, and then completed the Joint National Institutes of Health at Johns Hopkins Pulmonary and Critical Care Fellowship Program. I could go on and on. During COVID, Denise was a go-to resource for our governor and the health department, and she spoke to the public in the Albuquerque community about COVID and all the varying perspectives and opinions of that. So we're just very proud as a medical school to have her on our governance and our leadership to advise us on a regular basis. And so with that, please welcome our Vice Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Denise Gonzalez. Thanks.
Good afternoon. I'm so used to saying Happy New Year. At some point, I have to stop saying Happy New Year. I always have a hard time getting introduced that way because it's embarrassing, and I'm probably blushing right now. I think what doesn't get expressed in my CV and the bio that the company has me, not this company, but my employer has me use, is where I'm from. How did I get from there, Chamberino, New Mexico, to here, and all the things that you heard John talk about? And that's an important journey. It's also important for me personally to make sure that I'm a symbol of that is possible. It is possible to grow up as the child of wonderful parents who didn't have degrees, who I had to help in terms of summer employment and after-school employment and waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go pick onions during the summer. That was my experience. I mention it not to complain or to say, I had a hard life, but to remind everybody that what we experience, where we're from, what makes us who we are, is such an important tool. It's such an important resource. And it's a key, frankly, that I use every day when I'm talking to patients to be able to make that connection with them. Because it doesn't matter if the patient that I'm taking care of in the ICU isn't a Hispanic female from New Mexico, but I reflect on where I came from and who I am when I make that connection, when I try to understand where they're coming from, what their experience has been, to try to have that cultural competence. Because it's the relationship, frankly, that in many ways is so much more therapeutic than any medication I might prescribe. Because you foster a relationship of trust, and if your patients trust you and their family members trust you, then they're more likely to follow your recommendations. They're more likely to be honest with you about what's actually going on with them. And that has everything to do with equity. We don't make assumptions about our patients. We let them tell us their stories, and we listen, and we make the connection to what our experiences have been. So I'm so very, very proud of all of you and the work that you do. I get involved in organizations like Burrell, like the Ask Academy, because I want to make sure that everybody has the same opportunities that I was given. And I hope that you will never forget who you are and where you're from, and make that connection to every person that you interact with, professionally and personally. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. It's now my honor to introduce the chairman of our board, Mr. John Harris. Let me say a few words about John. For the last 9 years, has served as CEO of one of our core training sites, clinical sites, Memorial Medical Center. And as a former hospital administrator, I'll just say, for those that might not be aware, to be at one hospital for 9 years doesn't happen that often, so that's a compliment to John. Prior to his time in Las Cruces in his past, he also was in El Paso and was the CEO of the Providence Health Network. I'd just like to say that what is also John is the past chairman of the New Mexico Hospital Association. And for the students here and for our faculty and staff, what I'd like you to know about John Harris is that he has a strong passion for our mission, for medical education. He's working with us right now on opening up some new avenues throughout the state of New Mexico as well, to open clinical training opportunities as well. So we have a real champion in John Harris, and as our chairman, I'm proud to welcome him up to the podium to say a few words. So welcome, John. Thanks.
Okay, first of all, I promise you my comments will be brief. Dr. Prada, I heard that sigh of relief. I've been running large organizations since I was in my late 20s as a CEO. All hospitals, as John mentioned, sometimes systems of hospitals. And I've always remained a student of organizations. And I became a part of this organization. I was privileged to become a part from the very beginning, almost the very beginning. And as I've become a student over the years of organizations, because I've made a living, not by choice, but it just kind of is what I fell into, of turning around large multi-million-dollar organizations, I started studying how they were ran or how they weren't run. And I have to tell you that this award is one of many that this college will earn. For reasons that I'm about to tell you very briefly, because I know you're tired of standing. This organization is exceptionally managed from the beginning to now. John Hummer, your board, your faculty, you as individuals, you're all here because of the exceptionalism of this organization. I like to think I'm a part of that as well in helping to create that exceptionalism. And great organizations attract great people, and they do exceptional things. And this HEAT Award is an exceptional thing. And I have been in more meetings since the inception of this college than I can talk about today. But I can tell you, blended into the fabric of this organization since I have known it, has been what this award is about. And it's why you're here. As I look at the faces of the people in this room and others that could not join us today, this organization is all about DEI. It isn't something that is exterior to this organization. It is integral to the fabric of this organization. Everything that Dr. Perrott, everything that John Hummer, everything that the board talks about, the faculty and so on, is about that, and bringing great education to you in the right environment that you will carry out as the personification of the great people that we have to serve when you go into practice. And I'm on the other side of that, and I'm glad to be on this side as well, as a recipient of you when you graduate from this school, or whatever it is that you decide to do to go on in the medical profession. But you will only benefit in great ways because of the way this college is managed and the great people that are around it. And I feel so privileged to be a part of this. And I thank all of you for being here as a symbol of what this great college is about. And I know you'll go on to do great things in life. And I know that this college will go on to do even greater things in the future. And I love the fact that we can project this to the world as to who we are. Thank you for being here.